Good morning, everyone. Great Awakening. This is day one of the Whole Life Coach certification here in Bonita. I want to thank everybody for coming and trusting in us. And I want to start off with today's one a day, okay? And I think you'll find it's very important. And like I said, let it come in and just try to process it. You know, the one thing that we've all been programmed to become are victims. Yes or no? Yes. Yeah. So often we put on this happy face, but inside we're so fearful. How would it feel if you never ever had fear again? And I'm going to tell you something. I was raised to believe that we will always have fear. That's what a human being is. And that, again, is BS. It's a dysfunctional belief system. We are taught that we will always have fear in our life, and that is not true. Everything, just because it has a story to it, and it could be hundreds or thousands of years old, doesn't make it true. I have gotten rid of every story that I've ever been told that doesn't fit my creative ability to have the most beautiful experience on this planet. That pisses people off. I do not conform to anything that I've ever been told. I rewrite everything to suit me. This is my life, this is my experience, and I will live it the way I want. When you come here, okay, you're coming here to crack your own coconut. I'm not here to crack your coconut. I'm here to stir things up, to piss you off, to create a little bit of conflict. That's right. Without conflict, it's not going to happen, because you cannot take a new baby egg and crack it from the outside in. You'll kill it. It has to crack from the inside out. This has to be your awakening this week, and it will happen. It's very rare that somebody isn't totally into their authentic self within 3 days. And that's rare. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Today's one a day is based on this. Without vision, you have no future. Okay? Let me tell you something right now. There's 8.5 billion, who really is keeping count? I don't know, some people say they are. People on this planet, okay? And understand something. The so-called psychos that have always run the planet, they don't know what to do with the 8.5 billion. Why? Because we're coming into a whole new change right now. And what is that? Well, guess what? If you don't have vision, you don't have future. You're going to be without a job. If you're not doing something to help human beings expand their consciousness, you can kiss your job goodbye. You ask yourself, if a robot can do my job, it's gone in 5 years. I said 5 years. Your job's gone. If you don't have a job that is directly connecting to human beings and helping them expand their conscious, giving them a better life, okay? If you're not training or treating them, your job's gone. We are going to enter into robots everywhere. I mean, you already see it. Take a look what they're trying to do in Whole Foods. They're going to be doing it everywhere. It's coming whether you like it or not. So you can call it the mark of the beast. Well, guess what? You're going to have a really bad day. Because guess what? It's going to be everywhere. I'm never going to have a chip. I'm not going to do the palm scan. I will never do anything like that. And also, just know this. All the Americans in the United States, when you go to take a plane right now, it is against the law for them to scan your face. If you're a foreigner, they can do it. They won't let you into the country. They'll kick you out. But as an American, what are you doing? You have rights. Do not let them scan your face. They're tracking you. That's all that's for. No, I'm not doing it. Well, you have to. No, I don't actually. It's just a rule. It's not a law. Go get your supervisor. You need to understand something. They're going to be bringing in and implementing all kinds of things unless you question. For as often as I've been flying in the last 8 months, we have never walked through one of those scanners. We never will. We'll always opt out. You know, when you learn how to love and respect yourself, guess what? You will have vision. Did you hear what I just said? You'll have vision. But most people don't have vision. Okay? I'm telling you right now that maybe 1 out of 1,000 people have vision. The rest of them have tell-eye vision. And guess what? They don't have real eyes to realize the real lies. And that's the bottom line right there. And understand something, whether you like this or not, we're only 3 years, could be less, but 3 to 5 years, just mark my words. I mean, how many people have been following me for the last maybe dozen or 15 years? I'm not trying to be a smart, you know what, but I've been right. I've been right. Because it's, guess what? It's just the way it is. You know, it's just like climate change. When has the climate not changed? I mean, people are just, they don't think. They just don't think anymore. I'm going to take the time here. This is going to be about 1 hour. And I'm going to take the time to show you what's really going on. Okay? So, if you don't have a vision for yourself, you don't have a future. And if your vision is based on your family, you don't have a future. Did you get what I just said? Family's everything, Daryl. Yeah, how's that been working for you? If your relationship with yourself isn't the most important relationship in these times here, then you're not doing any justice to your family. So you just get off of it. I mean, most of you believe that the more you worry for your family, the more stressed out you are. That's your job. I mean, how does it feel to be a prisoner? I don't worry about my family at all, but I will take massive personal action at protecting, respecting, honoring them. But before I do that, I do it for myself. And then you can say, well, what a selfish prick. No, I'm not going to die for my kids. I'm not going to die for my spouse. I'm not going to die for people. I would die for you. Oh, who says that? Somebody with no value. And what are you teaching everybody else around you? And that's how we've been programmed. So understand, the most of the population is going to destroy themselves in the next few years. 30% of the population is leaving, okay? And yes, they were set up, I get it, okay? But guess what? When you eat and drink and think and do things that are low vibrational to yourself, what do you think? You're going to hang around? And guess what? It's not your fault that you disrespect yourself and you're worthless. But the reality is that in the big scheme of the universe, your spirit doesn't die. You'll get rid of this, but your spirit doesn't die. So I'm not going to get all bent out of shape because there are billions of people leaving. They will be leaving. They chose not to wake up. No vision. Let me tell you something. Every time there's been a revolution of some sort, right? Whether it was the Industrial Revolution, then we had the Communications Revolution. We just went through that. Now we're going to go through the Robotic Revolution. And then we're going to go through the Transhuman Revolution, where there's going to be tons of humans that don't mind becoming half robotic and cyborgs. Oh my God, I can't handle this talk, Daryl. Really? Okay, fine. I'll just remember something, that the real truth was in the movies. It wasn't what you were being told. The real truth was in the movies, because guess what? That's the deal that they had to do with the creator of everything. They had to let you know what they were going to do to you, so they used Hollywood to do it. And understand something, everyone, whether you want to believe this or not, there's probably only 250,000 of them that hogtied 8.5 billion of us. I don't like the way the world's going. Oh boy, you're going to be in big trouble. You know, this is the adventure that you came to. And you're telling me you can't take it or handle it? Well, guess what? You know what's going to happen to you, don't you? Unless you can resolve the fact that you need to have unconditional love and care for yourself before you have it for anybody else, and that you're going to connect to your breath, put a slight smile on your face, and know that there is a source of everything that isn't coming to save you because you already have everything you need, you're fried. You know, people may not like or care for me, but I'm not dumb. I'm logical. I'm not telling you I'm smart, but I'm logical. You know, I know that I've been around long enough to know that the most powerful family in the world is the Rothschilds. I know that they don't have the most money in the world because they don't need money. I know that money doesn't really exist except for the 8.5 billion people that will lie, cry, justify, cheat each other, kill each other, burn each other, go to war with each other for it. I know that. I know that they're a cult, and I know that in this cult and most of the higher ups throughout the government and around the world, they bow down to them like gods. I know that it may never change and that they'll always rule the world, but they'll never rule me. And then, oh my God, we'll pray for you, Daryl, because they're going to come and get you. No, they're coming to get, guess who? Miss Diabetes, Mr. Heart Disease, Mr. I'll eat anything, I'll drink anything, I'll do anything for love. And I will take everything personal, and I need approval. And guess what? I will attack anything that looks different and doesn't belong to the herd. Now, for some of you are going, oh, well, this sounds really depressing. No, it doesn't. Because every one of these beings, they're spirit beings. They live forever. You know what? What do you want to do? Do you want to be recycled, or do you want to evolve? You decide today. And you actually believe that the more you suffered for your family, the more exhausted you made yourself, and the more you went without things, that you would be rewarded for it. How does it feel now? Why do you think you're here? Because that shit doesn't work. You will find out that I will take nothing from anybody here. I am not a selfish person. I am only selfish enough to know that I need to love and care for myself from the moment I rise until I close my eyes. And if I do that, then I will be blessing people with maybe a strategy on how you can enjoy this. Weren't you supposed to enjoy it? Don't tell me you enjoy it. You have enjoyment periods, but then guess what? They're not so enjoyable, are they? Because if you are hanging out with your family and your friends, you know you're always compromising your diet. You're always compromising what you think. Because guess what? The majority of your family, the majority of your friends don't think. Okay? They're programmed. And understand something. I'm not telling you I think all day. I know for one thing right now. I cracked the coconut. Do you know how I cracked it? Because I didn't give a crap what you thought about me. I thought everything about myself. I spent more time with myself, observing, never judging, and not giving a crap about you judging me for me spending more time with myself, because understand, to fit in, you will get done in, because you're only allowed to spend enough time with yourself that you will continue to suffer but never grow. Yes or no? So don't tell me, but people like to tell me things, you know, you can't tell me things that are so obvious. So we got this family that's untouchable, and they always will be untouchable. There's an agreement with the creator of everything that this place here will be a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure for those people who wake up. And that will be only 1 out of 10,000 will ever really rise. I'm not saying I'm one of them, but I want to work towards it. You know what? If I don't do what I'm going to do, then I'm going to create trouble for my family. How many people know that we are entering into a new cycle? Nobody noticed that yet? Within 3 years, I think it's less, but we'll just say 3. We'll be right in it. Drama, trauma, conflict. Because we have to have conflict, because we have to destroy the old world. They don't know how to tell everyone that everything that they're living with and the way they're living is going to be gone. But it's not. I'm not going to live in a big city. I'm not going to belong to any group, and you shouldn't either. Braveheart Nation doesn't stand as a group. It's authentic people coming together for their authentic selves, for self-care and self-love, and to expand on a personal level. This isn't about a group of people coming together, like-minded people. No, this is about people that learn how to love and care for themselves, and we support each other. That's it. God, you want to take a look at cults. Nobody talks about the greatest cult in the world is the Rothschilds. They control all the finances. And guess what? You guys aren't much more than ants. I'm not much more than an ant to them. But they're not going to go out of their way to try to stomp on this ant. You know why? Because guess what? Look at all the ants that are stomping on themselves. They're just going to sit back and they're just going to harvest the low-hanging fruit. The people that actually will do anything, drink anything, say anything, and they'll do it to themselves and their family. So understand that. What could you be doing today to have the best day of your life and stay in the present moment? Well, slight smile, connecting to your breath, not buying into anything and knowing that the world is going to go through change. And if you love nature, then why aren't you trying to figure out where to live somewhere where it's not civilized? That's what I'm doing. You know, I've picked Zihuatanejo and I've picked Florida. I mean, it's more civilized up here, but at least Florida, there's a lot of freedoms. If I'm going to be in the United States, I'm going to be in Florida. And then guess what? I'm going to go to a third world country where I can eat organically and drink pure water and have no chemtrails, okay, and have no 5G blowing my brain out. And where I go and I buy food that costs only 30% of what it does up here. And then I could throw a line in and catch a fish, or a coconut's going to fall, and I drill a hole in it and I drink it, and it's everywhere. Avocados everywhere, food everywhere. You know, most people will just stay where it's cold, where it's winter, where they can't get fruit, where they can't get vegetables, where they're constricted, isolated, and then they'll just complain for the rest of their life because they believe that there's no way out. Look at how many times you have put blocks in front of your way. Well, I can't have this until I do this, and then you never end up doing it. It's not true at all. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. When you totally, unconditionally love and care for yourself and everyone else without judgment, you'll find out. We'll go through everyone this week, and I'll tell you exactly what's going on in your mind, and some of you are going to be really pissed off. You stay out of my mind. The reality is a person that does not judge and observe another human being is allowed to know exactly really what's going on with the person, and the person doesn't even know. Because you don't even know that you have a personality that's pissing people off, that's destroying you, until you're on the edge and you're burning up and going, God, please help me, please help me. And God's saying, get off your knees. Take massive personal action. I was always here for you. I was always working for you. God, I just want things to change on the planet. Well, they're going to. Are they ever? You get your surfboard and you get it waxed, because you're going to need to know how to ride this. And the only way you're going to get through this, you have to have vision. How do I make myself valuable in the next revolution, which is robotics? Every teller's gone. Taxis will be gone. Uber will be gone. Uber will be a computer. You don't believe me? You'll find out. So the reality is this: if you're not working directly with humans, you don't have a job. So what is going to make you valuable? First of all, make sure that if you're going to work with humans, why don't you work with humans in a way that it's actually helping them and not pretending? That might be good, because all that stuff's going to fall apart. Oh, I want to become a doctor. Oh, you want to sell drugs? Oh, I want to become a surgeon. Oh, you want to do surgery? The reality is that's not very evolving, is it? To just chop stuff out when we know that if you created a tumor, you can actually reverse it. If you created bone on bone, you can actually reverse that and get your whole hip back if you want. We already know that. You have to understand the whole getting everyone to either have a stent or mesh or screws or plates or rods, a fake hip, a fake knee, was to prepare you for what's going to go down, robotics. And then soon as everything that can take a job away from a human, because that's what, they don't know what to do with the 8 billion right now. God, most of them eat like 3 meals a day and 3 snacks. That's a lot, you know? And if you were a family that had the power of the Rothschilds and then you have your cult following you, you would know that you guys don't mean shit. You're in the way. So they can't go around just killing people. Oh, yes, they can. Look at 8 billion people can't even stop the fluoride and the chlorine in a shower. And one shower is like drinking 20 glasses of water that has chlorine and fluoride in it. And then the majority of the population buy bottled water in a plastic bottle, okay? They can't wrap their head around buying a structure unit that never breaks down and you can put it under any tap. You don't need a filter and you can drink that for the rest of your life. I mean, it's so easy to program a human being to eat crap and to have crap come out of their mouth. What's the vision? What is your vision? When I'm done with this little one a day here, it's not that little. We're going to go around the circle if it takes us all day, okay? I want to know why you came, what you want out of this, and what your chokehold is, and what your true chokehold is. Don't you dare try to get ruled by your subconscious, because your subconscious is going to want you to lie here on the mat. How many times have you lied to your spouse, your children? All the time. All the time. I just wanted to protect them. You don't need to protect them. If we all told the truth, we'd be powerful. The biggest virus on this planet is victimitis. And guess what? Nobody can focus. I have laser beam focus. You will never have focus until you have vision. And you'll never have proper vision until you love and care for yourself, respect yourself, honor yourself more than anyone else, so help me God. And you won't get that. And you just think that I'm being conceited or starting some cult. When all I'm trying to do is tell people to look for their authentic self so they can find their gift. And if you find your gift and you gift the world with it, do you have vision? Do you have value? And understand something, when all these robots take over, what do we want to do? We want to be helping our human brothers and sisters, don't we? Because you are so less human right now. Because most of you, and I mean this in no disrespect, I mean no disrespect to anyone. Are we allowed to observe someone and say something and be truthful today? No, you're not. You are not. And I don't care. Because I'm going to be. But understand this. People go, oh my God, the way I act, oh, you're so cold. Really? No, I'm in it with all my heart. Okay? I don't react in attack. I don't get injured by anything that anybody says or does. I'm not an emotional victim. Emotion, energy, and motion. I'm not using any drugs or alcohol to suppress my emotions. I'm not trying to shut myself down but open myself up. Understand something. The universe is exactly the same as planet Earth. There will be, fireworks. Let me tell you something. Would you like to go to a movie that puts you to sleep, or would you like to go to a movie where it's like everything is going to be lost and nobody's going to survive, and then all of a sudden 2 minutes before the movie's over, everything just works out. And you know what? Stop bitching and you're complaining. Oh, I just want things to be peaceful. You know what? Peace will drive you crazy. You want to be in charge of your emotions. You've got to understand that the majority of the population has never, ever loved or cared for itself. They have been taught that you are going to give all your energy out. Okay, don't tell me, okay, the fathers and the mothers in this place, that you felt respected by your children. You didn't. You felt disrespected. And guess what? Do you know why? Because guess what? You tried to use your children to get value. You came out of school. When you were done school, you didn't know how to love yourself, care for yourself, feed yourself. But meanwhile, you started breeding. How'd that work out? Chaos. Chaos. Because until a human being unconditionally loves and cares for themselves, they cannot do it for another being. And they do a really shitty job, but you did your best. And you should never have guilt, because we are all set up, and whether you want to believe it or not, okay, this is one big experiment down here, and we are on a slave planet, so you better well get it. But I am free on a slave planet. I am free because I will be me for one more day, and I will not be anything else. No matter how long I am here, I will be that, because my spirit lasts forever. And you know, all the religious people, okay, they believe that they're eternal, but they don't act like it. They're losing their shit all the time. That's why there's a whole row of Depends at Costco. And it's for every size. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. And understand something. You should be walking away from this conversation saying, vision, what does that mean? That means that total self-love and care for myself, and then I shine that light on my family, and I hold the line. I don't compromise my food, my drink, what I think, what I do anymore. And and you will have to say this a lot. Just know that I love you, but I need to change. I cannot live like this anymore. I need to learn how to love me so that I can love you properly, so we don't have the same argument for the rest of our life. Don't you dare tell me every couple that's in here that is married or was married fought about the same damn thing throughout their whole relationship. And that's because you sucked off each other like one large nipple. You thought that she was supposed to fill up your heart every day and make you have value, and you thought he was supposed to come and save you. None of that was supposed to happen. We are spirit beings coming together for a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure where, guess what? We got this, babe. We're going to think outside the box. We are not going to think like the majority. We are not going to eat like the majority. We're not going to drink like the majority. We are not going to do anything that the majority does. And we will rise above this, and we will blow off this planet. Instead of being recycled, okay, we will be resourceful and we will evolve. Cut the crap. Nobody's going to dumb me down. I'm not telling you that I'm 100%, but I'm definitely 95%. And understand something. Does everybody get this? 150,000 years ago, I'm not going to get into it, but if you really wanted to do your homework, you'd find out that human beings were manipulated. They were stripped of 10 other DNA. We only have two strands. We had 12. Okay, and that's there. It's archived. You would also know that we don't need to have 90% of our brain being a subconscious, where they throw from 0 to 7 all of these beliefs into us, and they force them in there so often that you keep running off the same beliefs from 0 to 7 that you got trying to protect yourself from two adulterated adults called your parents. And then you do that and you take it into your relationships for the rest of your life, and you wonder why relationships suck. I am not upset. I go, I think I got this. Okay. I got a subconscious, makes up 90% of my brain, and the only thing that it is a storage shed for beliefs. That's all it is. And it only holds prominent, dominant beliefs. It doesn't hold, I love you, I will care for you, and I will not hurt another human being on this planet. Okay? And integrity is everything. We don't have that. We don't even know what that is. And understand something, the brain is not smart. The brain is actually stupid if you got stupid beliefs. You are wealthy if the brain has wealthy beliefs. And that's the God's truth. We already know that. And the reason why most of you, like myself, okay, poverty was the way to the Lord. Do you know how hard it was to get rid of that one? No matter how hard I worked, I would leave the house. Sage wasn't even born yet. I'd leave the house at 5 o'clock in the morning because I wanted my family to live outside the city, take an hour drive in, get in there before anyone else, because I had to, because it was hard to make a living, because we have to struggle to get ahead. That was all in there. That was all in there. None of that's in there anymore. Understand, I reprogrammed myself. You have to get this. The brain is just a computer and a chemist. Nothing else. And it eats up most of the energy in your body if it is not working for you. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. So understand, the brain only runs programs. I put my own programs in. You couldn't put a program in there if you tried. I absolutely trust nobody in this room, but I love you unconditionally. I do not trust you. I don't go around going, I don't trust her, I don't trust him. That's not true. But you know you can't be trusted. You can't be trusted until you have unconditional love and care for yourself, and that you have a vision that is totally based on you finding that authentic self. And you will find that authentic self if you want to. But you need to mind your own business. I need to do this for them, and I need to do this for there, and I can't do this because I have to do this. You can make up any lies you want, and I'm going to go, yeah, I get it. Because none of my business. But I guarantee you, you'll lie and justify because you need to fit in. You need to be approved of. I'm not saying that look for disapproval, but the first approval you ever needed was your spirit energy, and that was it. That was it. So we know this. The brain only runs programs. I am so lucky. You know why? Every whole life coach course, I don't have to pay for it. How many have I done? Well, this year I've done 11. 11. Now, every time I do it, do you think it makes me more empowered or less empowered? Why do you think that once you've taken any of our courses 3 times, you can take them free for the rest of your life? Because they're always going to change. I am going to evolve. I'm not going to stay the same. I'm going to change 1% every day for the rest of my life. Just 1%. Anybody could do that. And understand something. Did you know that you live 98% of your life in the subconscious, which means that you are not conscious or aware of what you're doing, saying, drinking, or... So do you think the one thing that I said to myself many years ago, like over a quarter of a century, I said, well, if that's true, which it is, I said, guess what? I am going to be on top of me. So I got, from my granddaughter, I got a love band. I got her hairband, and I put that on here, and I snapped it 30 times an hour. Because I said, I am not living like this on this planet. This is not going down. My father was a born-again pastor who said we can have everything, but he never got anything. He gave everything away. He gave himself away until there was nothing left. And understand something, you have to recycle your love inside of you if you want to give people energy. You can't give that away. Why do you think heart disease is the main killer? I've got a broken heart, empty heart. Oh, my heart hurts. Whenever you leave, my heart aches. Okay? I just want to live until my kids finish school. I just want to live until I see my granddaughter. Who in the hell says that? Who even says that stuff? Jesus, just off yourself. Oh, wait a minute, you are. But do it quick. Who says these things? What people consider to be normal in their talking, I'm just like... I will never go to a party where there's alcohol and adults. And if there is, there better be a child over in the floor playing with some toy that I can go over there and play with them, because I am not going to be poisoned. And I'm not kidding. Let me see you bring your child out, your joy, your laughter, your smiles, your creativity, your imagination, and I'll hang around with you. If not, I'm not hanging around with you. I don't care if you're family, because you're not. You're actually damnly. So understand something. I knew one thing, okay, over a quarter century ago, that if I want something, I got to do what they did to us. They created so much repetition that they broke the spirit of the majority of the population on this planet, that then breaks the spirit of their children by the time they're 2 years old. By the time a child's walking and talking, it's toast. Because it's acting like mommy and daddy, and mommy and daddy are so in their subconscious, unconscious, that they don't know that the child is acting like them and it's time for them to evolve. They punish the child. That's how out of it they are. And then most of the parents that actually became parents didn't know how to feed themselves, love themselves, care for themselves, even care for each other. So holy shit. And I do mean holy. So the reality is, I knew this. I knew that all I got to do is put up with it. And oh, wait a minute. You can ask Sage. My family called me Jesus, Buddha, moron. Every name in the book. My wife tried to turn my kids against me when I got into this new cult called unconditional love and care for myself. And guess what? I was never going back. I'd be sitting there just trying to connect to my breath in the very early years of this. And then family members would walk by me and try to taunt me. I'm not making any of this stuff up, and he'll have to say yes because he knows. He was there. And you know, he was just a little guy barely walking, and he's probably going, what the hell is this? You know, there's dad. And there's mom. And I'm not putting her down. I'm just trying to tell you, you go ahead and try to find your authentic self, and your whole family will be after you. Did you get that? They're coming for you. You want to break away from the herd? You don't want to suffer with the rest of us? You don't want to eat what we eat, drink what we drink, think what we think? You're getting it, baby. And I just said to myself, I'm never going back. I'm never going back. And then I started that, and then I did this huge investment. This was a long time ago, and we almost lost everything. And then that just gave them all cause, right? Oh, that's just great. Now you're like, and now you lost all our money. And guess what? I just said to everyone, guess what? Nobody's going to suffer over it. Did anybody suffer? No, because guess what? Nobody did. I made sure, because I believed in God Almighty. I believed in myself, and I needed to lose it. I almost lost $3.5 million. How's that? But I needed to lose it to understand that it was nothing. I had to become everything. Lori will tell you, 15 years ago, have we been in business for 15 years? We took off for age. 15? So 15 years ago, we came back in business, and Sage knows it. He's there. We're just starting to come back in business, and he's there bagging the tea after school because I'm going to come back into business because now Dad's crapping his drawers only a teeny bit because he only has $2,200 in the bank account. You get this? Don't tell me, oh, you don't understand my life, Dr. Wolf. You want me to tell you my life and what my life was like when I was trying to become everything was blowing up, eh? Everything. There was no stopping it. Just like there is no stopping the conflict and the chaos that's coming on the planet. But I'm ready. I'm going to smile, and I'm going to focus on my vision, and I am going to unconditionally love everyone no matter how much they lose their stuff. And understand, I knew this. I decided and I dedicated myself to this. That I knew what I wanted to become, and it didn't matter what anybody said, anybody did. Is that true?
You didn't interlope your stress onto us at all.
No. No stress ever. Didn't matter if I had no money or everybody was attacking me. It didn't matter. We went and bought fireworks.
The show must go on.
We always had fun.
Yeah.
Okay? I never ever stopped, did I? I was a rock-on dad. I was a rock-on husband. And guess what? I was screwed up. But that was my spirit, thank God. And now I know how to hold the line and I'm here. But it took work. It took people, my friends, my family. Whack job. So now my friends and family respect me. And now the rest of the world's calling me a whack job. So I'm already ready. It doesn't matter. Quack, whack. You're not a doctor. You rip people off. Oh my God, never ends. Snake oil. It's just going to continue. That stuff cannot bother you because they were programmed to say that so you'd get back in with the herd. Because if we have too many people breaking away from the herd, it could wake up the planet. You only need 2% of the planet to mind their own business, to unconditionally love themselves, and the matrix would fall. And that's actually true. And you're going to go, well, that's nothing. Well, just look at how all of you are scared that you may not find your Holy Spirit. And you are. Oh my God, I hope this works. It's going to work. You can't bring 20 people together that understand that unconditional love and care for yourself is the way. Because that which created us has the same thing for us. So we have to become that. I mean, people will say, we were created in the likeness of God. Well, really? Well, I don't think God looks like this. The reality is the likeness is the spirit, the joy, the energy. So we have to go back there. That was the whole deal. This is just a fun-filled, life-threatening adventure. And I know that. I don't take anything personal from the Rothschilds or from little Justin in Canada or little Biden in the United States. And I say little because guess what? They don't scare me. They're not authority. But the majority is going to believe that they're in authority. Nobody has authority over me. I am connected to my breath. I'm connected to my smile. I know that this day is going to have bumps in it. I'm going to slow down and look at the bumps, and I'm going to repivot, give it and repivot. I am going to know that. But the reality is this. Most of you are scared to live and scared to die. And I'm not scared of any of it. I'm just going to have a good time. I'm 67 and I am never going to ever let the little child go anywhere except stay here with me. That is my saving grace. But for you women and you men, you just keep on birthing them because guess what? You keep on trying to get back there. There's so many people that should have never had children. They should have went and found the child within first and then maybe they wouldn't have had children. Not everybody needs to have children. We're all just so programmed, You do this at this age, you do this at this age. I'm not doing anything. I'm doing what I want. Right? 67. What? I should have a little limp by now, right? Shouldn't I have a little limp? I should be on at least one drug. Okay? I should be thinking about retirement. Okay? All right? Okay? Can't wait to get and go visit with the grandchildren for a week so I can have some life. No. The child within it, okay? God loves the grandchildren too, but the reality is this. It's all about me. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's always been that way. You need to get to a point that you don't care what people think. And then people on here are going, he doesn't care what people think? What a selfish prick. Really? I'm supposed to care about what you think about me. Are you like out of your skull? The reality is if my beliefs don't match yours, you don't like me. I get it. Oh, so the chances are that I don't have a lot of people liking me. What a whack job. I mean, if I would listen to myself 40 years ago, somebody talk like this, I'd go, he's dangerous. I'll stay away from him. And he's up to something. He's setting you up. He wants your money or he wants your blood. Maybe he's going to drink it. I don't know. The reality is this, is that the majority of the population is never going to be able to handle unconditional love and care for themselves because they've been programmed. That's a sure ticket to hell. Meanwhile, but then they'll go and they'll say, yeah, but the creator of everything had unconditional love for us and we were created like the creator. Do you ever listen to yourself? Do you ever listen to yourself? Every book that's ever been written has been rewritten. No, not this one. This one's the Holy Grail. This one was protected. Nobody got this one. Oh, okay. All right. I'm with you. Okay. But do you mind if I just write my own book? I'm going to. I'm going to let myself off the hook for everything. I'm going to let God off the hook for everything. I'm going to let everybody else off the hook for everything. And then I'm just going to have the most amazing moment every moment. And I knew this, that if I could get every disgusting, disrespecting, dishonoring belief for myself or for my children that I had for my children or my wife or anybody else in my life gone, I could set them all free. I could set myself free. And that's where I am. So it doesn't matter. You can like me, hate me, love me, don't. I got to. Not got to because I'm worried that God's going to get me. I've got to love you anyway. Because I've been there. There was a time in my life that I hated some people. I used to go to bed and think about how I would like to kill them. That is a slave. That is a prisoner. There was a time in my life when I would make people responsible for the failures that I thought that they created. And if it wasn't for them, I would be successful. That is all gone. I don't need the economy to be great. I will be great. I don't need someone to have food in the store. I'm going to look after that. I don't need anybody to tell me they love me. I love me anyway. So just know this. If you don't have a vision, you don't have a purpose. I just get up. What's your purpose? And you know what? It's funny. With men, they have a purpose, but it's not their real purpose. Their purpose is driven by money and the actual fear of failure. That's most men. Women, they don't really have a purpose. They just drain the living crap out of themselves for their families until there's nothing left. Yes or no? I guess that would be called a purpose. And then everybody's trying to prove to everyone that they're worthy on this planet. Well, I don't really care. I'll stay unworthy of the herd. And understand something right now. This is how it works. It doesn't work any other way. We were manipulated. I think the game is fair, but you will say it's not fair until you unconditionally love and care for yourself. Until then, you're going to think it's unfair. It's unfair, it's unfair, it's unfair. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because self-love is the most powerful thing on the planet, not love. Love's just an ingredient. We already know that that's kind of messy, isn't it? How's your relationships going with your other people? Until you have the most important relationship looked after, which is what? On a physical plane, it's yourself. On a universal plane, it's with that energy source that has created just absolutely everything. So here's the deal. Do you know what your greatest curse is? Emotions. Your emotional chaos. You react to things. All you had to do was just stop reacting. But they've taught you to react. Right? Chaos reaction. There's mess to clean up. Sometimes for an hour. Sometimes for the rest of your life, you believe. So you need to understand that most people are going to react. So guess what? If something happens, you're going to react and attack. I'm going to let you do it. So you could react and attack me because I said something, and if, let's say you didn't take it right, but you attack me, I'm going to let you do it. I'm just going to stay really calm. What happens when somebody attacks you? You either defend yourself or you run. What if you did nothing? What if you just smiled and you're just connected to your breath? What if somebody was demanding something from you and you just smiled lightly and you connected to your breath 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out, and you really made it a purpose to just breathe 3 times like that? They'd be first looking at you going, I want an answer right now. Now, just by breathing in 3 times, guess the answer is completely different than they would have got if you would have given back what they had. But guess what? Welcome to every bloody relationship. You know, every bloody relationship. And I mean bloody relationship. So here's the deal. Observe and never judge again. You either want some of it or you don't want some of it. If you go to the buffet, you're going to go to the things that you love. You're not going to go to the buffet and spend your time talking about how you hate this food, that food, that food. You're going to go in and eat what you like. So why do you go around bitching all the time about everything? The government, there's nothing, the government's not broken. It's always been this way. There's a government inside of a government, so leave that alone. What a bunch of morons. And I mean it. You've got moronic beliefs. What person has ever gone in and ever changed anything? The only thing that you can do is go in and change things. They change here, nowhere else. The medical system is, I think that they're beautiful. They're doing exactly what they should do. They say we're going to sell drugs, do surgery, chemo, radiation, okay? And we're going to steal your hope. They do. And they're doing a great job. Because you decided to hook your wagon up to them. You want to come to me and complain about, I've been going to the doctor for 30 years and I'm on 5 different drugs and I've had 4 different surgeries. I hate them. Here it is. I can't stand it. When I go swimming, I get wet. What is wrong with us? So anyways, everything in life is an image. I hold the image of what I want. Whether you believe this, we have probably right now 6 to 8 things that for a person, that might happen once every few years, this one thing. I've got 6 or 8 things that are just gigantic. And guess what? They all were moving and now they're just like this. They're just hanging there. Right? Okay? We were supposed to get a big fulfillment in Texas. Everything was great. Everything's working. And then they go online. And then Marketplace did a show on me. And of course, everything that's online is true. And now we don't have a fulfillment. It didn't bother me at all. This is the game. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm trying to do for not just myself, for everyone else. And the reality is I did not take it and I was not upset. You can ask Lori, ask anybody. I wasn't upset. I go, well, what do you expect? Welcome to the game. Something better will come. Something better will come, and it always does. And it's teaching me patience. So the people that are out and trying to destroy me are teaching me patience, and they're actually helping to derail things, and we always end up with better things, don't we? Yeah. And I've learned that because there is a God. Holy crap. So the reality is that the brain only sees in images. You've never had a thought in your life, and image had to come first. So what's the image you have of me? What's the image you have of yourself? What's the image you have of your lover? What's the image you have of your children? That's why your life's a mess. ungrateful little bitches. You know what? Or I give her more than she gives me. It's true. You say it. You say it in your under your breath. You're programmed to do it. Oh my God, I'm so worried about my son. I'm so worried about my daughter. Well, if they weren't around, you'd be worried about something else. Why don't you show them a mother or a father that isn't worried, that has faith in them? When somebody is ever worried about you because they don't trust you, does that build trust with your children, your husband, your wife, or anyone? No, it's distrust. So, guys, I just want you to know that this is a training ground. Nobody's coming to change anything drastically. It'll always be like this. No way. You know, every day you're waiting for the change. You're waiting for the person to change your life. It's never going to happen. When you play Monopoly, those are the rules. Well, I don't want to play with money. Well, then how do you play Monopoly? I don't want to play this game down here. Guess what? What happens to you? Well, then you've got to go on drugs. Because you're going to have to shut down. I get it. Maybe shut down for this lifetime. Maybe the next time you come back, if we come back, then maybe you'll be ready to find your Braveheart. Maybe you'll understand that it's a life-threatening, fun-filled experience. But right now, just go ahead and shut down. So I'm never going to judge anyone. Oh, wow, she's in an insane asylum on 20 drugs. Well, maybe that's it then. Okay, all right. I got practitioners that will actually, I'm so disturbed about this. I know that we could help them, but they've opted to do this. And I'm going, what's wrong with you? Did you not take the Whole Life Coach course? What's wrong with you? You still have the suffering program. I don't have a suffering program. So that would make me a cold-hearted son of a hoo-hoo. Now, the reality is I'm not. Because if I have a suffering program, then I am not going to evolve. So, first thing you have is an image. So, everybody here has a different image of me right now. That image will change throughout the week. It'll get better, it'll get worse. But the reality is this, instead of judging others, ask yourself, what did you get from that conversation? What did you get from that lesson to enhance your own life? That's all. Mind your own business. So image creates what? Thought. And the brain never stops thinking. The brain never stops working. But guess what you can do? You can go into the subconscious part, which is 90% of it, and you can reprogram. Because you only think what you do, you only eat what you eat, you only treat people like you treat them in yourself, because that's the program you're running. You only have the eczema or the arthritis or the kidney disease because it's all based on your image of certain things. Whether you want to believe it or not, if I grab this belief, and this belief, I get this dis-ease out of harmony. So why don't you just go in and clean house? That's where the world is right now. There's only one virus called victimitis, and that one is definitely alive. And we all know that viruses aren't alive. They can't jump 1 inch less 6 feet, but here we go again. Here we go again. And I don't really care, because I'm busy. I've got my own vision. I don't have tele vision. So anyway, so now we have an image, which the image is going to create what? A thought. A thought's going to create what? An emotion. Energy and motion. So guess what? I'm so depressed. Yeah, because you're telling the same terrifying story to yourself day in and day out, and you've done it so long and so strong that you don't even have to think about it anymore. It's the only program you have, and you are torturing the living crap out of anyone that comes near you. Oh, and welcome to the herd. Welcome to the majority of the population. And God loved them anyway. And there's no need to forgive them when they are attacking you on any level. You shouldn't even be there. You should be past forgiveness. You know that if you forgive someone and they keep doing something, you hate them, right? So why would you ever want to get to the point of forgiving them, which means you had to have judged them? So get rid of the judgment and just observe and go, holy shit, don't want any of that. Don't like Brussels sprouts, and I don't like Jennifer, okay? But I will love her from afar. Hallelujah, brother, as my dad used to say. You know what my dad used to do? This is true. He'd come in, and he wouldn't even know anybody. So I've got a clinic running, right? And my first clinic was in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And my father was a born-again Christian pastor. And he would walk in and you know what? It was always about attention for him. So well, what about you, Daryl? Okay, so anyways, yeah, sometimes that happens to me. Okay, so anyways, he'd come in and he would go in and he would go and he'd put his hand out and the person would think, okay, I'll shake his hand. And he'd go, hallelujah, brother. And he would crouch down really low to the ground and go, hallelujah, brother. And then come back up. And the person would be just like, holy shit. And then he grew a beard. And my younger brother, he called him, because my younger brother was just always outspoken like that. And he called him Beardo. Yeah, well, you got to do the beard thing because then you look wiser, right? So anyway, image creates thought, thought creates emotion, energy and motion. So you know what? You get to decide every present moment. That's not true. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Okay, so long as you say it's not true, it won't be true. And guess what? Guess what? I don't want to ruin it for you. But when we go around the circle, now nobody will probably do it. Nobody had an upbringing like me. Really? Yeah? And you don't even know what a good bowel movement is because wait until we all get toilets, we're going to poop with each other. See, the reality is people don't know what a good bowel movement is. They don't know what a good love affair is with themselves. They don't even know what a good love affair is with another person. And that's the truth. Highly dysfunctional. Highly dysfunctional. Don't want any of it. But guess what? I'll just sit back and observe and just go, yeah. Coolio. We are spirit beings, and I think on the whole scale of things, I think that right off the bat, that if you have a physical body, that I think that you are a very young spirit and you need to earn your keep and you need to earn your right in the universe. That's my belief, and I'm allowed to make up my own story, so just know, don't be going, he's wrong. It's not about wrong, because you don't know if you're right. There's how many different religions, there's how many different thought patterns, there's how many, everybody's religion is going to heaven before the rest of them. We all make up our stuff. And the reality is I know that on the whole energy and spirit thing, I am a low vibrational being throughout the universe, and I need to earn my right. Just as you go to kindergarten, right? But you should never send your kids to kindergarten or school, so just know that. But this is the universal school here. That's what this is. And if you can't, I believe, this is just my belief, so just understand that I know nothing. The reality is I believe that if you can't pull off unconditional love for yourself and everyone on this planet without judgment, I believe that you are never going to the next level. I believe that that's what that is. And I truly believe that that's what Jesus was here to show. And that's what it was that he was here to show. And that all got mucked up and screwed up. Okay? Because there was no such thing as Christianity before Jesus. Right? And I believe that Jesus was only here for unconditional love. And I believe he was murdered because of that. And the reality is I don't believe there's anything else that I ever want to fight for is unconditional love for myself and for everybody else. And that is the only thing worth fighting for is love, is unconditional love. I will never go to a fight with anyone. I'll never go to war with anyone. I mean, look at how we opt into going to war. I mean, come on, guys, please don't get me wrong, But the reality is this, okay? I just keep listening to it, When I was flying a year ago, okay, all the people that are in the military, they were all allowed to get on before me. That's cool. But now they changed it. Unless you're in active duty, you don't get to get on before me. You see, everything changes. Everything is just a game. And everybody's saying thank you for your service. You know, really, this is where I'm going to get it. What were we servicing? I'll leave that with you. Okay? Let me tell you, to program the majority, okay, to buy into spilling blood, don't you dare tell me that we are high vibrational beings. Don't you dare tell me that. You're a high vibrational being when you unconditionally love yourself and never have to forgive yourself again, never judge yourself, but observe and not burn and learn. Because if you are judging yourself and if you judge yourself, then you're judging your family, you're judging your children, you're judging the world. And what kind of life is that? How do you like it? Because most of you do it. Most of you in this room do it. And I'm telling you, you do. And you don't do it out of choice. You do it out of programming from 0 to 7 when you were living in a theta state and you were living in a daydream, and everything that happened, you just took it on as real. So understand this. There will be chaos. There will be conflict, and it's coming. And that's because they don't know how to shift into this new world without creating tons of drama. And any of you that do not know about how to master the emotional part of you by reprogramming your subconscious and getting it done in time, you are toast. How many people know that 70 years ago, a person would have a trauma conflict 3 times in a month? How many people know before COVID it was 17 times a day? How many people know that after COVID it's 120 a day? 120 conflicts, and it's not that there's an actual physical conflict. The conflict is actually the program that was created throughout this 3 years. Now, people never rest. They're always on edge. How about this? If you live in the present moment, that would be connected to your Lionheart breath with a slight smile. If you have those 2 things, you're in the present moment. If you're in the present moment, that's the only time that you're connected to Source. And we know that people are only in the present moment 2% of the day. And then most people, when they pray, they're praying, God, please, 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 God, please, God. My belief is, get off your knees. Stop begging me, please. Take massive personal action and work with me. Don't tell everyone that it's in God's hands. It's in our hands. And that's what I believed. And that's just my belief, but I'll probably go to hell for it. Okay? So, if you don't understand, okay, if you don't understand that you need to have an understanding that you are beautiful, and that which created the universe has never judged you. And see, now I'm going to go to hell again. I'm not buying into the BS, guys, so just know that. And I won't keep going on about this stuff because we're going to be learning how to actually master our mind and our whole body. And I promise that everybody will leave here and they will get 10 times more than they thought they were going to come for. Do you believe they will? You're going to get it. And I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you with unconditional love and care. You can say whatever you want in this room. You can say anything to me, and I mean it. You got something you want to say to me? It's not going to offend me. If you want to move forward quicker, then you're going to connect to your breath and you're going to go inside that God spot in your heart and you're going to tell the truth. But the problem is you will not be able to find the truth because the subconscious was built to hide the truth. And understand something. We're going to be giving you the most awesome strategies, and your subconscious is going to go like this. Because if it does not smell or taste what is already going on in your life, it is going to say, I can't do it. Does everybody understand that the subconscious was programmed to keep us slaves? Does everybody understand? If it wasn't and it was created by God, I'm going to tell you something right now. I believe that God just, I'm kicking back here. Everybody here has got a spirit. You know, they still have the power of me. Okay? And they're going to have to learn how to find it and own it. Okay? Whether you believe it or not, think about it. We haven't done anything. The chemtrails are there. The chlorine, the fluoride, the GMOs. We already know that 96% of a grocery store is toxic. We know that 70% of a health food store is toxic. We know every corner store is a cancer-causing building. We know that vaping causes more cancer than smoking. None of them are gone, okay? We know that drinking one alcohol drink a day, you're an alcoholic. Oh, no, that's not true. I drink my wine every day for the antioxidants. No, you don't. You drink it to take the edge off so you can be with your spouse. A lot of people are like that. What if we came together as spirit beings, united in unconditional love and care for each other? So understand, image creates what? Thought. Thought creates what? Emotion, energy, and motion. And then emotion creates what? A frequency. I told you already, the computer, your brain is just a computer and a chemist. So it just plays the same damn programs all the time. And I'm not telling you that I don't play the same damn program all the time, but it's not a damn program. Because I can be tired and I won't poison myself. You know that? Because I have conditioned myself to pick high vibrational people to be with, high vibrational food and drink and things that I like to do. Go ahead, you watch this week. You see if anybody can penetrate me to make me feel bad. The last time somebody made you feel bad, that wasn't good for anybody, was it? And that's what human beings have been programmed to do, is to make each other feel bad. You're unworthy. You didn't satisfy me. Do you ever have anybody say this to you? Don't be so selfish. Do you know what that person just said? Live my life like you've been doing. Don't think you're going to break away and become your authentic self. You little selfish. And just love them anyway. Just smile and go, listen, I'm going to be selfish enough to be aware, okay, that I need to care and love myself. Because that's the only protection that you truly have on this planet. You know dang well that everyone that you love at some point has turned on you. Yes or no? Yes. And you won't have somebody turn on you the day that they love, honor, and respect themselves first and foremost. They wouldn't know how to do it. The only reason why they can do it is because they do it to themselves. You can't give what you're not. You'll only give what you got. That's it. So anyways, that frequency is going to go in and trigger either histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol, or it's going to, the dose, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. We all want to get high. We're emotional beings. And guess what? We have a whole laboratory of ecstasy drugs. Okay? And most of you are still hitting the adrenaline button because you want to get high on something. And you'll know it because somebody goes, did you hear what happened? And then right away you go, what? What? Because you're looking for the high. And if somebody says to me, do you hear what happened? I'll go, don't need to. Don't need to. Because that's a troublemaker right there. I can remember when I was younger and I lived in drama land, I wanted to be the first one to come home with the next end of the world story. So just know this, I already told you, the majority of the population, okay, and I mean the majority, is dumping adrenaline all day long. Some are really dumping it fast, some are just dripping it. Well, if I turned on the tap and just had a drip for 3 years, could I flood the house? Yeah, that's why there's turbo heart disease, turbo cancer, okay? There's turbo everything. Every autoimmune disease has gone turbo. How many people know that cancer now has actually escalated in the last 3 years 1,000%? People die faster. It grows faster. You can't dump all that adrenaline. You know, people will tell you that cancer spreads. No, it doesn't. Fear does. Okay, false evidence appearing real. And when you do that, you dump adrenaline, cortisol, histamines. That causes acidity. That causes inflammation. On here, I stated in this, one of my one-a-days, it's got 1.2 million views, and people come on and go, cancer isn't inflammation. You don't know what you're talking about, snake oil guy. You know, and the reality is it actually is. Every autoimmune disease is inflammation caused from infection on a physical or an emotional level. And that's why there's so much mucus in people, and they're drowning, their lungs are drowning with mucus because there's so much inflammation. Inflammation causes mucus congestion. And most of the elderly are dying now and choking their own sputum. And that's mainly because of the bowel, because you fill from the bottom up and you get sick from the inside out, inside out, inside out. So understand that. You have a choice, and most of you will not make it. You'll have a choice to have unconditional love and care for yourself while the family's kicking the shit out of themselves and each other. You'll be minding your own business. You will not participate. Hey, when things would get chaotic in the house and there was no calming it down, I would just go for a walk. Let them do whatever they need to do, and then I'll come back. I'm not participating. I'm not going to participate in any conflict or any corruption or any chaos moving forward. I want to be the support. I want to be the calm in the storm. When the chaos gets so crazy, I will spread my wings and rise above it. And then when everybody's done kicking the crap out of themselves and exhausted, I'll land and I'll go, okay, what is it that I can help you with? Either going to gobble with the turkeys or you're going to learn to fly. First, love yourself. How much time do we have to do to teach this? I hope you know this, that a lot of people aren't going to make it. How are the younger people going to take this next one? I mean, they have to lock down again, right? So that they can get away with it and do everything they need to do. Put the towers up. There's so much stuff that they're doing when they do the lockdown. And they've got to have another lockdown wherever they can get away with it. And understand something, digital currency is coming. Sure, gold and silver will be used and cash will probably be around in some form or not at all. But it's coming. So, you know, the reality is, do you think that all your grumbling about everything that comes, does it slow it down or does it make you sick? Then mind your own business and shut up. Shut up and not grow up, but expand and understand something. Don't let this whole world is about distraction and disruption, isn't it? I haven't been able to do my workout. I didn't take my nutrients. I'm not eating right. I'm not sleeping right. Welcome to the harvest. Don't tell me what you can't do. Tell me what you're going to do. Dr. Wolf, you know what? I just want to talk to you. I'd really like to do this, but I can't do this because of this, this, and this. Those are obstacles you made up. That's not true. I'm completely broke. That's right. And you always talk like that. I don't have any time. That's right. You always talk like that. And you don't have time because you're not a priority. Yeah, but you don't understand. I have to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-do. You go ahead and make all the excuses because understand something. You've all decided that you deserve a certain amount of suffering. Yes or no? So guess what? You will utilize things to run the program. Don't get pissed off this week if you find that something happens and I'm not suffering. Okay? Seriously? Don't get pissed off over it just because you got your family to suffer for you. Okay, let me ask you a question. Whoever suffers the most in the family loves the family the most. Yes? I guess I don't love you. I'm not suffering for you. And understand, if I did suffer for you, I would actually be feeding your dis-ease. And there are no diseases. There's just you out of harmony, and you need me to be out of harmony to reinforce your program that's out of harmony, that's killing you. Well, I'm not doing it. That's not what you came here for. So don't have a tantrum. Well, you can have one. We'll all just sit, and you can get in the middle of the mat there and just kick and flail for a while like you've got taken over by an alien. Are you getting it? Do you ever really listen to yourself? You might want to do that first and foremost before anything else, so help you God. All right, well, we're going to take a little break here, okay? And then those of you that need to get your money back and run, Lori's back there, she'll do it. You've got till the end of the day. If this is not meant for you, don't torture yourself, okay? But just don't steal my Nikes to run out. I just bought them. Okay, thanks for joining us, everyone. And just know this, we do have the parasite sale on, and there's enough parasites running around, isn't there? Inside and out, okay? And also, I had Brent on about the Pure Wave Magnet and the honey. If you call in, that's on sale too. We can't run two different sales. God bless everyone, and understand something. I have a free library that you never have to spend any money if you want to jump in there. Braveheart Online Emotional. And go check out Reverse the Irreversible if you've got a limp or a cane or you think you're going to surgery. If you have any type of cancer or inflammation that is life-threatening, go watch The Emotional Chemistry of Cancer, Disease, and Healing in my library. If you really want to know what a good bowel movement is, and if you want to know that's the computer printout that'll tell you how healthy you are, go watch Become Number One at the Art of Number Two. Okay? All right? And 3, 2, 1. I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart. God bless. Bye, everyone.